What screams I'm poor but pretend I'm rich? People who lease low-end Mercedes, Audis, BMWs. Rented car rims. I have seen just the opposite. Many years ago my father had a cousin that lived on an old houseboat in the Louisiana swamps, and I would take my father to visit him a few times a year. Which I always hated going because it was like a scene out of Deliverance. As time went by, the old man died and I took my father to the funeral. Of course everyone is speaking French, so I have no idea what's going on. After we left, my dad comments what low lifes his kids are, as the old man just died and they're fighting over his possessions. I asked what's he got, an old half-sunk houseboat? He tells me he owns 2,000 acres of prime farmland, a tractor dealership, and half of a major car dealership in New Orleans, and that was only what he knew about. The old man was a multi-millionaire and lived like a river rat. You never know about people. Treating waitstaff, hotel workers, cashiers and people in other service jobs like shit. Dead giveaway. Deleted. Taking pictures in a fake luxury airplane. Fashion reps. An expensive, current year model car, parked in front of a low-income apartment complex. Driving 10-year-old used luxury vehicles with high mileage in the current year. Bragging about wealth or high-paying jobs. Most of the rich people I've known in my life were actually quite quiet and secretive about their wealth. A low-end 70 inches flat screen that looks like crap. Hashtag I'm poor but pretend I'm rich. Bargaining with street vendors after exorbitant shopping spree in a mall. That loud fucking exhaust you put on your Honda Civic. Expensive clothing. The need to constantly show off things that they own. Posting pictures of money online / flaunting it in front of people. Rental rims. Nice-ish cars, but really high mileage when bought recently. Thumbing through a wad of cash they grabbed out of their pocket when paying for something. Watch obsessions edit, specifically fake watches. I should have specified that. Leased car. Few of these are great examples. Just different priorities. Some people love cars, and save to have a nice one. It's not pretending to be rich. Others dress to impress BC, they want to be taken seriously at work and are ambitious. Some rich people are obnoxious about their wealth, but they are rich. See, Finance Brothers. Much as I think it's kind of tacky to be really done up all the time. There are cultures where this is important, BC, others look down on them otherwise, historically. In some cultures, it's a point of pride to pick up the bill. Regardless of how you are doing financially. And so on. Maybe just assume that everyone has different priorities. And yeah, a lot of people are trying to project an image, see, influencers, but, hey, at least they are putting effort into building a business. Coach or Louis Vuitton bags with the label all over it. Fake gold and expensive clothes, expensive but totally impractical cars, i.e., saw a car once that had half-inch thick tires, with big, shiny, expensive-looking rims, a large television in a small apartment, openly pointing out their wealth but refusing to help others who could better use it, excessive buying and use of controlled substances, the list goes on. Bling rims on any car. Used lower-end luxury model car. Almost always they're the ones at events who are the biggest jerks to the staff, and then they leave the event in their financed car with engine lights galore. A $3,000 stereo and $3,000 rims on a POS beta car. Deleted. Fake designer brands. To quote the late great George Carlin, people are spending money they don't have for things they don't need. So they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that cost $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Trump. An abundance of Versace products. I work with expensive brands in a sketchy mall, and anyone who comes in decked out in Versace has the cheapest car, the cheapest phones, they try to barter for stuff, their cards keep declining, etc. They basically spent all their money on their outfit and it doesn't even look good. I work at a sneaker store and it is filled with fake designer clothes and rare sneakers. Every time I see one I make a point to greet that customer and ask where they got it. It's hilarious to watch them scramble for an answer. Owning a Chrysler 300 cause you think it kinda looks like a Rolls Royce. Pulling a EBT card out your Gucci bag while on an iPhone. When everything they carry has a big visible brand label on it. I do. Pick me. Looking rich. The truly rich people dress for comfort. You drive a fancy car but still live in your mama's basement, woman shrugging. Money shouts, wealth whispers. Fake replicas of expensive watches. If you like watches, there are a lot of affordable brands and models that would earn you a lot more respect than a fake of a Rolex. Can you turn on your hotspot? Getting bottle service in a shit nightclub. Credit cards that you use to pay off your other credit cards. Financed, used BMWs. Not talking so much about CPO BMWs. But used car lot BMWs. Absolutely abysmal reliability, insane cost of ownership and maintenance, but bought for the badge. The modern BMW is 100% built and marketed to be leased. For a reason. Lifted trucks. iPhones. Making certain that the designer logos on your clothing and accessories are readily visible to all. That iPhone you all have. I mainly see this with people who drive the big three German cars, Audi, BMW and Mercedes, but getting a base model will all the options on finance, usually some stupid amount April, then putting the badges from a high-performance model on it. Mate, that's not a M3, that's a 318D. Real estate agents. Asking people on Facebook to get in on your Herbalife scheme. Bragging about how you're going to get rich from crypto but you keep talking about a different coin every week. If I work the extra hours, it will bump me into the next tax bracket and I'll make less because of higher tax. In my mid-1990s middle school it was wearing Tommy Hilfiger or similar clothes with the designer name. Oh, and expensive sneakers. In fact, when we had gym, most would change out of their pricey sneakers into their gym sneakers. I had to make do with one pair my mom got on clearance at Marshall's. That was at the middle school on the lower economic end. In 8th grade, I went to a more middle-class middle school. Oddly, no one ragged on me for wearing Old Navy or no-name sneakers in spite of the fact these kids' parents had more money. Corvette outside of a double-wide. Massive, obvious labels. Rich people buy for quality, not to show off. The most obvious designer items. The kind with the logo flashing all over them. If you wear Supreme and are not a YouTuber you probably are not rich. Fake Gucci. Making a scene to pick up the dinner check and then tipping like shit. Wearing a whole bunch of designer clothes/clothing items all at once. For example, wearing a Gucci shirt with Balmain jeans, LV shades and Dior sneakers. Shit makes me cringe. Inflatable hot tub 100%. Gucci belts. A bunch of big bling-y watches with diamonds that look like they should cost 100k but really I got them for a few hundred on Groupon. Shut up, don't judge me. Gucci purse. $1,000 rims on a $500 car. Using prepaid credit cards. My sister. Following/constantly posting stupid entrepreneur shit on Instagram. Posting selfies posed with things that aren't yours. Spinners and rims on a fucking jalopy. Gucci. Designer knockoff items like shoes or bags. Brand new Ram truck on a 96-month lease. Just saw 3 expensive looking cars with tires smoother than a beach ball. Ultra white teeth and a fake tan. Altering your one Chanel suit to look like you have an entire wardrobe. Wearing a crown when you're down the pub. People who wear D² too, especially those awful icon hats. Fake designer stuff. Buying a Jaguar with 350,000 miles on it. A 20-year-old Mercedes that barely runs. Buying a house in Tuckahoe and saying you live in Southampton. Designer clothes. Knockoff designer bags. Buying designer items on credit. Lots of jewelry. Financed German car. Your 2021 Dodge, Chevy or Ford muscle car with the upgraded exhaust. Not only did you pay double for the same car, you paid 5x for sound effects. Being on welfare but having the latest/most expensive iPhone. People who think iPhones are good.